Hey guys, Elite Legionarii here, bringing you another 2 vs 2 for Rome Total War. This time I'll be playing as Pontus, and I'll be teaming up with, his name was Puppy77. There's a bit of a problem though, he didn't speak English, so he didn't really follow any of the rules, and I couldn't communicate an ally with him, and in this fight I wasn't willing to just let myself get bogged down by an opponent, I didn't know where he was at, so it's sort of a bit kind of like 2 separate 1 vs 1s in this fight, to be honest, which isn't how you really want to play in a team battle, but there's not much I could do about that. So I was Pontus, he was the Seleucid Empire, and I'll be joined, my opponents are Montgumery9, he's featured in a few of my videos, he's a good player, and of course Doc Holliday. I won't be his ally this time though, he's Macedon. So Armenia and Macedon versus Pontus and the Seleucids. So my army consists of 4 units of gold, I think it is. Gold, bronze, shield, pikes, 2 peasants out the front, just sort of distractions and basically whatever else I can use them for. 6 units of gold archers, 3 units of gold Cappadocian cav, 2 units of, I think they might be gold or gold attack, maybe they don't even have, I don't know, actually they might not have any upgrades, I can't recall. They're just chariot archers, and then I got 2 units of scythe chariots as well. And to be honest, after reviewing this video, I probably should have just got more chariots, but I really didn't want to spam too many because I'm not particularly fond of chariots, to be honest. I think they're really overpowered. My ally's army, as you can see, he's playing very statically, he's not really moving. He had I think he had 3 there, and 4 there, so he's definitely broken the rules there. He's got 4, I think he's up and he's got about 7 cataphracts there, which he's got 6 silver shield pikemen, which is got 4 silver shield legionnaires and a few archers, 3 or 4 archers. But as you see, playing very statically and not really moving, and Doc's easily going to be outmaneuver him, I think. So I get my archers into range, and I do start off by aiming at his cataphracts over here, which is my only the only thing that concerns me about his army. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 cataphracts, 5 cataphracts, my bad. He has some peltis here, and he has 3 units of archers, I think it is, and then he's got a bundle of, he's got 4 units of heavy spearmen and 4 units of Armenian legionnaires. If I were him, I would have gone with more cataphracts, 4 cataphracts, not 5, but Doc has left 2 units of companion cavalry to support, so I do have a lot of very strong enemy cavalry against me, and just because they look alike doesn't mean they are the same. Cappadocian cav are very much outclassed by cataphracts. They do not possess the mace like the cataphracts, so they don't perform nearly as well in combat, in melee combat. They do have a shield, however, which does allow them to stay in it a bit longer, which is useful, but overall they will get creamed by cataphracts, and I'll demonstrate that in this fight because I don't really use my Cappadocians very well. There are better ways to use them, and I certainly did not use them very effectively. I really should have used my chariots to stop his cataphracts, and I was aiming to do so. I was aiming to bring my chariots around this way, but he kind of takes a different route. I was trying to aim to get him to sort of go this way and then come this way with my Cappadocians and sort of squish him, but he doesn't really go for it. But at this stage, I'm going to use my chariot archers here to basically soak up some of his missiles, so I can in turn use my own missiles to thin him out, so that I can rout him quicker, basically. So we catch some of Doc's forces. He just had Royal Pikemen. I think he's got, there's 4 so far, 5 Royal Pikemen. It looks like 3 normal archers and 2 Cretan archers, and he's having a pretty easy day of my opponent here because he's got way more upgrades. My opponent had none, and he's not using his cataphracts very well. So Doc's able to easily leave his companions into support, so I had to keep my eye on them to try and keep them out. I think he's just going to send them round, and I was tempted to go after them, but I knew these cataphracts were going to come in, so I have to, I can't really help my ally here because I'm going to be stretching myself too thin against that mini cav at this stage. I have to use my own Cappadocians to stop these cataphracts. And I do believe I change my missile fire onto those cataphracts soon. And I probably should just let them go here, to be honest, and just use them to keep them to keep them away from the back of my bronze shields here. But he has made a pretty fatal area era. You should never let chariots get in behind the infantry line. So here I do charge him here, but I don't do a very good job of it. But if I realise I'm most likely going to lose this fight, but if I can keep his cataphracts busy long enough, I can rout the rest of his army. That's my thinking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge my infantry forward. My infantry is definitely better, and if you watch what my cataphracts my chariots cause his army to do. They'll get frightened by the chariots, and as you see, I'm going to hit in the back of his line here. And if you watch, look at this, 1, 2, look at the whole army. About 7 units just chain routed them. That is why chariots are overpowered and extremely frustrating. I didn't even touch him with my infantry, and my chariots caused the whole horde to rout. So that is why you don't want to use them. But fortunately for him, he just tore my Cappadocians to bits, and I'm having a hard time to protect my archers, so I'm pulling back my peasants to absorb his attack. But now I'm able to turn my bronze shields around to face his cataphracts here, and I've still got chariots roaming around. And I'm using my chariots archers to basically run down all these routers before they potentially come back. So chariots are mass causes of panic. So as you can see, they're terribly frustrating the fight. But as you can see, my peasants are doing a very good job of holding these cataphracts up, and stunned they haven't routed at this stage. But he's just going to push through because he knows I've got bronze shields hanging around the back trying to catch him out. Basically, I'm trying to save my arrows because I know I'm going to have to face Doc as well because he's pretty much routed my ally. So although I had quite a bit of success against Montgomery, my ally just got 2 decimated, and unfortunately one of my side chariots had to go and run amok at this stage. So that's a nuisance because they're extremely valuable to have, as you know. So I do a pretty nice job of routing that whole army, but that's basically just because of how irritating the overpowered chariots are. At this stage, he does get a nice side charge on with his cataphracts, and I will give Montgomery credit. He was really good with his cataphracts. He just kept coming in and out, and I don't have a lot of mobility going my way at the moment, so I can't really stop them. But I'm trying to protect what units I can, and I'm trying to make sure that Doc is stalled, or at least Doc doesn't come in too quickly. So it's going to prove kind of tough though, because again, I would like to have helped my ally more, but I couldn't even communicate with him. He didn't even speak English, and that is really, really limiting. And unfortunately, these side chariots have to run amok right when they're in men. And I'm trying my best to keep these cataphracts out, but as you can see why I don't like to use chariots this much. They're very cheap. That just basically caused that whole army to rout instantly. Now yes, Armenian infantry isn't the greatest, and it is understandable that it should rout quicker than others, but that's just kind of nuts how incredibly quick those units just routed. It's maddening how quickly chariots can rout units like that. Which is why I hate facing chariot spams, and a lot of clan members use them, and when clan members use chariots, they know how to use them, believe you me, and that makes this incredibly difficult. But I sometimes use it just for a bit of a change of pace, to make sure I do know how to use them, but to be honest, I don't particularly like it because, as I explained, it's just very overpowering. But at this stage I kind of needed overpowering because, as you can see, Doc has really not taken a lot of damage from my ally. Still got pretty much all his missiles. He's got some. He had some light lancers, which is a smart move. They're always a good unit to have when you play as Macedon. But as you can see, most of his infantry is still in fairly good shape, and it's definitely more than a match for my guys. And I'm trying to keep these. Trying to protect my chariot archers from his cataphracts, and I'm trying to keep Doc away, but I'm just really overextended at this stage. But Doc is cautious now because after that last time he faced chariots, he is very cautious of him. And even chariot archers can be deadly if you're not careful. You don't want to treat them too differently. But I'm trying to keep my foot archers safe because I need to try and do the best I can, and I'm doing a pretty good job against Montgomery. If it had been a 1v1, I know I would have beaten him, but Doc's just got way too much left, and I could have stayed and protected my ally, but I felt I would have been probably carrying him too much, in all honesty, because he didn't have any upgraded units, so Doc would have cleaned him out, and if I'd sent units off to help him, I would have been stretching myself against Montgomery, so I didn't want to risk doing that, to be honest. But perhaps I should have supported him a bit closer, but it would have been kind of difficult because of course he didn't speak English, and that is pretty limiting. So here I'm trying to get rid of some of these cataphracts, and fire arrows is a pretty good way of getting rid of them, but apparently they weren't being very successful then. So here I see some of his light lances coming in, but I know that my chariots could defeat, my missile chariots here could defeat light lances, but they wouldn't be able to defeat those cataphracts. So I've got to be careful there. So I'm trying to save my troops along here. My Doc does get in kind of quickly here, and it's a bit of a nuisance, but I do manage to get my chariots in here, and I think I might be able to rout him here, maybe, no. But unfortunately those cataphracts come back, and now I'm going to try and get my bronze shields over to try and shield me. But as you can see, obviously this fight isn't going to go for a victory for me, but I'm still pretty pleased, really. I mean, I know I would have beaten Montgomery had it been a 1v1, or if my ally had held down Doc longer, but it's just not the way it went, which is fine. Here these cataphracts come in, and he's taking advantage and exploiting my weaknesses here, my sloppy micro at times, but I did manage to catch out a few of his cataphracts here. So, I was just sort of noting that they still haven't necessarily said there's a Seleucid Empire faction on Rome Total War. I'm assuming there is, though, because it looks like on that map piece thing that they showed, that there is a Seleucid, obviously Seleucid territory, but I'm presuming it's going to be a DLC for Rome 2, but it appears Pontus is in. I haven't really checked up on a lot of Rome 2 stuff in a while, so I'm not quite up to date, like some of you might be, but it doesn't mean I'm not looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. So here's some of these companion cav come in, and unfortunately I can't get my chariots out in time, and they're exhausted, and they've done a pretty awesome job, but Doc's just going to be a pain and a nuisance. But I've pretty much dealt with Montgomery's forces there. But that's pretty much what's going on here, but I was just sort of checking up on the Rome 2 stuff the other day, and it seems like Pontus is also going to be sort of available, so that's cool. I really do like Pontus, it is a fun faction. I mean, Rome 2 just looks really great. But as I said, I haven't really done a lot of looking at it in the last few months, so I'm not completely up to date with it, so I'll probably have to have more of a snoop around with that. But as I said in my last video, I have just recently pre-ordered Rome 2, so the aim of the game at the moment is to get as many standard Rome up so I can get to 200 Rome 2 videos, and that's why. So if you are a viewer who prefers my Medieval 2 videos, don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. By any stretch, I haven't forgotten you, and I love making my Medieval 2 videos, and I am making them. But what's going to happen is I'll probably aim to try and get them up 1 week before Rome 2's release, if possible. So I haven't forgotten about it though. Med 2 is still a very excellent and great game, and I still have there's many people on there who I enjoy playing. So that it will be coming at some point. So anyway, I'll begin to get engaged with Doc's infantry here. I'm going to be completely outclassed, of course, but I'm going to use my chariots here to try and rout this unit here. And I am successful in routing it, which is quite cool. So that does give me a few extra kills. But of course now the cataphracts come in and can't really stop them at this stage, and of course his companions are going to get those chariots. And I'm going to do the best I can here, but I feel I did okay. I mean, I know I pretty much defeated Montgomery there. He did do some nice work with his cataphracts, so I'll give him that much. He did do a nice job with them, they made it challenging. But to be honest, if I were him, I would be completely understanding if he was frustrated. He didn't seem to be, but if he was frustrated, because his whole army just completely chain routed in a few seconds because just 2 chariot units got into his flank. So it's quite ridiculous how easily chariots routed in this game. So if there are chariots in Rome 2, which I'm assuming there will be, I do hope they mean that. I still think chariots should be a specialty unit, and deadly, I do think they should be deadly, but perhaps not as mentally deadly as that.
Has been soundly beaten, and even now the enemy must be plotting fresh atrocities.
So I'm defeated, but I don't go down easily. And as you can see, Doc has got a phenomenally large amount of kills there, nearly 2,000. I come at second with 1,302. Monty has 883, so it's not too bad there. And my ally got pretty creamed, in all honesty. And both of us got pretty decimated though, down to our last there. So if we look at the stats, my bronze shields, a couple of them did pretty good. This one did okay, this one didn't do too flash. My archers were not too bad, average, nothing spectacular. Side chariots, one of them, oh, that's just an arching it, sorry. My side chariots both got over 200, so that's why they're so deadly, and my chariot archers both got around about 152 and 132, so good, a very large portion of the kills went to them. As you can see, my Cappadocian Cav, very poorly used. I basically ended up just going for a stall, so I could hit the back of his flank with those chariots, and that did work well, but it's pretty sort of not pretty costly what I did that time round. So I probably should have used the side chariots and maybe one of the Cappadocians to stop the cataphracts, and then used the other side chariot and a couple of the Cappadocians for the hammer and anvils. But never mind. I didn't do that this time round, and I did pay the price with my Cappadocians there, but well earned victory by Doc and Montgomery. Both of them are very enjoyable to play, and I certainly hope you guys enjoyed this. So as I said, the aim of the game at the moment is Rome until Rome 2 comes out. As I said, I think I can get it done about a week before Rome 2 is released. In that last week I'll do Medieval 2. So that's what's coming up, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you soon next time.